So LeEco and Coolpad recently joined forces, and this is the result here, a joint venture which is the Cool1 Dual. Why is it called the Dual? Well, it has actually two sensors on the back. They're 13 megapixel sensors. One of them handles color and the other monochrome, so very similar to the Huawei P9 setup. So let's have a look at this phone in detail and see if it's worth your hard-earned cash or not. So on the left-hand side, we have the dual nano SIM card slot. Unfortunately, there is no micro SD card support there, which is a real shame. On the back, the loudspeaker and a Type-C port that supports fast charging, although the included charger is only a standard charger. The right side, power on and volume up and down controls, infrared transmitter and 3.5mm headphone jack. Fingerprint reader, the dual 13 megapixel camera, dual tone LED flash, and secondary mic. So the screen on it is a 5.5 inch 1080p panel that has a maximum brightness of 545 lumens of brightness, which isn't bad. But how does that fare in sunlight? So here in direct sunlight you'll see that it is quite reflective, but I can still just make out what is on screen and use the dialer, for example. The rear fingerprint reader works well, and I haven't had any problems with locking and unlocking the device. It tends to work literally 10 out of 10 times, so I'm very happy with the performance of it. Now, considering the price of this, the build quality doesn't seem bad at all, feels quite nice, and it is a little thick. It's not the thinnest because it does have that extra large 4100 mAh battery within it. So the launcher we have is LeEco's own launcher, and it's called eMIUI. 5.8 is the version of this one that I have on here, and that is it's a skin based on Android 6.0.1, and you'll see that if you swipe down from the top, you don't get the typical toggles there. That is because what LeEco have done is they have moved that to the recent apps button, and that's where you'll find everything, including the brightness adjustments, and then you can kill applications, clear the memory, and swap between there when you do a bit of multitasking. The performance of the ROM is fine. Now, there is no apps drawer, so widgets and apps are all in one there. Some people find that a little bit messy. It is a very similar system to what Xiaomi use with their MIUI. Now, I ran through my usual benchmarks I like to run on these mobiles, and I'll quickly show you the results. So this is Geekbench 4 score, single core, multi-core score, and Ice Storm Unlimited, Slingshot ES 3.1. Ice Storm was maxed out, and the Antutu 6.2.1 score, you can see there, 3D UX, CPU and RAM. Now this is where this mobile phone really shines, and that is the battery performance is very good. This is on par with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 Pro. With the 4100 mAh battery, it lasts a long time. PC Mark benchmark was set to 200 nits of brightness, so the screen was calibrated correctly. And you can see there that the screen was the biggest consumer, and then PC Mark. So screen on time, continuous screen on time with PC Mark running was 10 hours and 28 minutes, which is a extremely good score. That is very good. So phenomenal battery life here from the Cool1 Dual. So it only has one loudspeaker on the bottom, and I find the quality of it to be slightly disappointing. It's not really that loud, but I can still at least hear ringtones when someone calls me. So let's have a listen to it. So a quick look here at the stock camera application. So we have the SLR mode, which allows us to take photos with the nice background blur. Now that is using the dual sensors, and it uses software as well to blur out the background images, creating a bit of depth there to it. And we have the night mode, which you probably need a tripod for this one because you have to hold it very still. Now video mode, you can shoot up to 4K 24 frames per second video. I did notice some autofocus issues, which you'll see later on in the sample I'll show you. 4K video sample. Now it does have continual autofocus, but you'll notice that sometimes the focus is going in and out, struggling with lock, and there are artifacts in the sky quite bad there. Something I've seen on the Lee Max 2. And here's a front-facing video sample. It can shoot in 1080p maximum resolution with the front 8 megapixel camera. And your standard photo mode, which is all automatic. We have beauty, and Pro Mode. So Pro Mode allows you to adjust the shutter rate, ISO exposure, everything you can think of there, including manual focus. So here are some camera samples. Now, is it any better than a single 13 megapixel sensor? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. Personally, I find that it does take a detailed photo, but I don't find it to be really that much better than a single 13 megapixel sensor photo would be. Low light 4K video sample. So what about gaming performance? Well, it plays all the titles I've thrown at it with very good frame rates, very smooth, 100% playable. Every game out there, even on the extreme or ultra settings, you'll find that it can handle it because it only has a 1080p display, which is perfect for the Adreno 510. Now, if you'd like to see more gaming, then check out my gaming review. So can I recommend the Cool1 Dual here? Well, yes I can, for the battery life alone, because it has a very good battery life, and the build of it isn't too bad. Now it does have plastic top and bottom, and the 4K video does have some autofocus issues, but the fingerprint reader works well, call quality is good, the 3.5mm audio output also is good, and the wireless and 4G speeds. So you're getting a decent phone, but you do have to remember that you don't have micro SD card expansions. For those that want to put lots of music on their phones, then this probably isn't the one to get. Thank you so much for watching this review, and hopefully I will see you back in the channel with more up and coming reviews. Bye for now.